with only two official island nations standing in the Caribbean, unions formed. What will the standoffs be against the Caribbean Federation? Let's go and watch out. The Cayman Islands. Bombing raids set up, mostly bombing Georgetown. Threats of Caribbean forces invading the Cayman Islands. But all of that will change when the Cayman Islands liberate Nueva Gerona, Pinar del Rio, bomb Havana, and it eventually surrenders San Jose de las Lajas, Artemisa, Matanzas, and up to the eastern half of Cuba, Cienfuegos, Santa Clara, Santisiltus, Ciego de Avila, Samagüey, Las Tunas, Bayamo, Santiago de Cuba, Guantanamo, and the last fallen city is Holguin. But that doesn't stop there. Bahamian forces liberate Cap Haitian, Santiago, La Vega, and literally the whole peninsula of Haiti. Further east from Key West, U.S. air raid bombs Puerto Rico in case the Caribbean soldiers there would surrender. But no, instead they take back Jamaican liberated land in the Haitian peninsula, and together with Caymanian liberated land, and all hope was lost for the Cayman Islands. Cienfuegos held on for 8 months until it was officially conquered. Pinar del Rio, Havana was heavily bombed. San Jose de las Lajas, Artemisa, and the Cayman Islands eventually surrendered at Nueva Gerona and were headed back to their land. Mexico conquered the Cayman Islands for their safety, starting at Cancun, for protection against the Caribbean. But then, something surprising actually happened. The Caribbean actually attacked the Cayman Islands from Nueva Gerona and the Bahamas, together with the USA, formed a union from Miami to Freeport, so that the Caribbean wouldn't attack any of them. The Caribbean forces weren't even afraid and started attacking them anyway. Santa Clara and Nassau were mostly starting, and bombings over Cape Coral, Port St. Lucie, Tampa, Orlando, East Naples, West Palm, Miami, and Key West began. Key West was first to conquer, close to Miami. Gainesville, Palm Coast, Tallahassee, Padoswa, Brunswick, Albany, Tiffin, Savannah, Dalton, Montgomery, Andalusia, Mobile, Gulfport, New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Natchez, Jackson, Marion, Greensboro, Selma, Auburn, Birmingham, and Tuscaloosa, and Decatur and Huntsville were all captured, together with Rome, Atlanta, Columbus, Macon, Athens, Greenville, Aiken, Augusta, Rock Hill, Columbia, Charleston, Hilton Head Island, and Florence. But a huge offensive began from U.S. troops in Asheville, liberating Greenville, Rock Hill, Florence from via Charleston, Hilton Head Island, Augusta, Aiken, Macon, Athens, Atlanta, Rome, Huntsville, Decatur, Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Selma, Greensboro, Mendon, Jackson, Natchez, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Gulfport, Mobile, Tallahassee, Andalusia, Dalton, Montgomery, Albany, Columbus, and literally all the occupied cities like Trifton, Valdosta, Brunswick, Palm Coast, Gainesville, Orlando, Tampa, and the biggest liberation was Key West, Miami, East Naples, and West Palm Beach, Cape Coral, and the last one was St. Lucie, and started liberating the Bahamas because they were part of their union. Liberating Cuba as well was huge, with huge offensives starting here. Guatemala joined Mexico in case of an impending attack. The US and Canada signed a special treaty together with Malaysia as well for being protected. Canada was allowed to have Alaska, and so they took it. Just in case of any high bombing air raids from the Caribbean islands. And the US took small militia together with an agreement with Kevin Baugh just in case of an impending attack on the US. Cuba was held under a siege for protection against the Caribbean. US, Mexican, and Canadian forces jumped on the Caribbean islands. But Canada, together with the Arakan Empire, unified again. And Canadian forces, together with Bermuda, just in case of an impending attack, took over Bermuda. And Canadian forces started liberating Port-au-Prince and the Haitian Peninsula, together with Puerto Rico. But this was the last straw, and so huge offensives began, hitting the Haitian Peninsula, Nassau, Cuba, and even Florida again, with massive offensives going on in the history of the US, Canada, and North America. Suddenly, Mexico also falls victim to these attacks. Central America, which was now unified, hit up with massive offensives, which liberated Mexico easily. And Mexico retook these lands. But then, huge offensives on Jamaican land, together with Mexican troops began to capitulate, immediately beginning to conquer the Central American Union. At last, it was lost. Nicaragua surrendered. Close to Panama, the Panama Canal got conquered easily. And they were now going up into Mexican territory. The Mexicans didn't even stand a chance until this happened. A huge offensive. Regained most of their territory. Morelos, Xalapa, Flores, Campeche, Huehuetenango, Guatemala City, Coban, Jalapa, Santa Ana, San Salvador, San Miguel, Garcias, Lloro, Santa Rosa de Ocpan, Cancun, Mérida, and more were liberated. But that was not a weakness. But what will happen with the US? Let's find out in part 4.